Our first guest tonight has called China a malign actor, a threat to U.S. national security. Our guest is Congressman Devin Nunes, ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee, author of the book Countdown to Socialism, available now online and in stores everywhere, and we recommend it to you highly. Congressman, good to have you with us. Joe Biden says that China is a competitor, not an opponent, not a rival, not an enemy. Your thoughts?
You know what? It might be one of the few times that he's actually been lucid and actually told it exactly how he sees it. And this has been the problem for so long. We have been running an investigation, House Intelligence Committee Republicans, for nearly a decade now. We see the intelligence. We don't think that China is a competitor. We think they, in fact, are a very, very dangerous enemy. And that's why, Biden continues to say, he talks about the trade deficit. I mean, they refuse to do anything about China. Trump went in and he says, look, we're gonna put tariffs on. We're going to try to make some deals. We're going to try to get along with them, but no more of China just ripping us off. And I think what's clear now, after the Wuhan virus, there is a clear decision for the people in the United States of America to make. You either want to go back to what we had before that delivered us a dangerous organization that, like China, working with the World Health Organization, that gave us this pandemic and totally lied, has covered it up, has never come out and clean on it. We go back to what allowed that behavior to happen, or we know we stay with the president that we have today, who has put tariffs on. And my guess is if Trump is reelected, he will put tariffs on. And it's just incredible to me that the Democrats keep making up excuses for China after they've been wrong for so many years.
Well, they've been wrong for so many years. Joe Biden has been wrong for so many years on nearly every issue in foreign policy. I can't think where he's been right, to be honest with you. This president, inversely, has been right on every major issue. It's interesting to me when we look at his contretemps and conflicts with Wall Street, with corporate America, the Federal Reserve, bankers at large in this country, with China on the issue of balanced reciprocal trade, whatever it may be. This president has been right and they have been wrong. And there isn't another president I've covered or watched in my lifetime who could even compare remotely to his average.
Yeah, I agree, Lou. In fact, when Trump was running, I thought, well, I've heard this before. Every presidential candidate says he's going to get tough with China. But my God, he did it. And let's not forget, when Trump was putting those tariffs on, they predicted there was going to be disaster. You talked about the foreign policy successes that this president has had over not just the last several years, but especially the last week. If you watch the other networks, you don't even realize that it happened because, once again, they're covering up for the last administration who was saying crazy things like, oh, there'll never be a peace deal unless you get peace with the Palestinians. Well, that blew up in smoke. Donald Trump said, you guys have had this wrong for decades. He goes to the Middle East, and here we are 3 years later. We have a legitimate peace deal where we're now going to have flights and trade between Israel and two of their Gulf partners. And my guess is that others are in line if Trump gets reelected. If you go back to Biden and Kerry and Clinton, what are they going to do? They're going to do resets with Russia. They're going to say go back and cause problems with the Palestinians. They're going to make deals with the killers in Iran. I mean, it's a really clear decision as long as the American people know what the hell's going on.
Well, and that is exactly one of the major problems. You've got propaganda operations run by AT&T, Comcast, and Disney. For crying out loud, you've got Disney that owns ABC News pushing nonsense through its news operations while filming Mulan next to concentration camps, for crying out loud. They're aligned with the Chinese more than they are with the Trump administration and the U.S. national interest. What do we do about that? If we did not have President Trump in the White House, we would be in major trouble.
And I don't think there's a better example of professional sports, especially the NBA, which, I have to say I'm a big fan. But ever since this radicalization with BLM and all sports have become very, very political. But one thing is clear, they're all for justice for everybody, supposedly, except when it comes to China. You have nobody in the NBA that wants to say anything about China. And I guess if you follow the money, you will see that the NBA is very reliant on money coming from China. And so, it's not really so upfront with the American people. And this is why we have to continue to educate the American people over the course of the next 46 days or whatever it is.
Absolutely. Congressman Devin Nunes, educating us for years now. We appreciate all you do, Congressman Devin Nunes.